Okay, so yeah, I'm back after a lot of troubleshooting here. So yeah, the the issue was pretty simple in the end. It was hard for me to find the issue, but now I know better. So the issue was that we were passing in the wrong allocator to these functions, and I'm contemplating to actually put the allocator directly onto the tile map, since we only have just there's just a few tile maps, so it won't be that much of an issue just putting the allocator in the tile map itself, so you avoid this kind of issue, because you have to remember which allocator you have to put in. So, but yeah, we were using this tilemap arena allocator for the tilemaps, and I just forgot that. So that was the issue that we ran into. So now we can actually run this, and it actually works. And you can see here we can add a bunch of layers and nothing gets overwritten, and we can get this resized as it goes up. So yeah, that was the entire issue the entire time. So yeah, but yeah, now we know, so that's great, and we can move on. So I'll just clean up some things and I'll be right back here. Oh yeah, and I'll just say that how I found this problem, which might be a nice way to, if you're really stuck and you don't know what's going on, but you have some sort of sense of what the issue is, but you really want to have like a minimal example. And so what I did was I created another project here. Yeah, and this project is meant to just test some stuff out in SIG. And so what I did was I created the same setup that we have with the allocators. So we have a GPA at the top, and then I also noticed that, oh wait, we're using an arena as well. So I needed to make an arena, and while I was making it, I just realized that, wait, I remember that I put context.allocator, which is the GPA allocator and not the arena allocator, into this well, not the init capacity, but the actual, but this part, the append part. So I think if you do this, you can replicate the issue here. So you will do, this one will actually be, yeah, the arena allocator, but then these guys, oh yeah, and I think the first one's also arena allocator, because we are allocating it in the init function, which gets passed down, the allocator gets passed down from above, so that's the correct allocator. However, the next one is just the normal allocator, so this one, now this should actually become an issue here, and I need to copy, or yeah, I need to import this. So allocator test, import allocator, there. Okay, now we can run this. Yeah, and you can see here, wait, oh yeah, what do we append? So let's append an A, and here let's append a B. Yeah, something went wrong here. Okay. Allocation size doesn't match reset. Yeah, so you can get these weird sort of errors. I saw this error as well. I think, yeah, maybe this time it didn't want to resize, I don't know, but yeah, when mixing allocators like that, it's really dangerous, and yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen basically. So yeah, great that we could figure that out. So anyway, I'm gonna clean up some stuff, and I'll be right back here. Okay, so we're back. Now let's try and see if delete works. No, delete still doesn't work. Still crashes when you try to delete the first one. So we need to see why that's happening as well. I believe when you click this, we should get Let's do it like this. Let's add some and we'll click some of these. Now let's go and check the logs. So yeah, we don't get actually any logs here, which means that we don't actually get into this function. So I'm not sure what's happening there, since we do have this if here. Okay, so apparently you need you need to generate like an ID here. So yeah, it's a bit complicated because the click event happens over several frames. Apparently, because you need to click on the button itself. Well, you need to have a mouse down event on the button and then a mouse up event on the button to count it as a click. If you just have a mouse up or just a mouse down, it doesn't count as a click. So it needs to know which button you've clicked or which button you have mouse down on. And when you have a for loop like this with buttons that have the same like text, I guess, then it doesn't know which button you've actually clicked. So you have to push like some sort of ID here. So I guess we can get the index. So push integer ID. Okay, and then wait, can you do string? Okay, so you can do string. I think I was thinking maybe you can do like a formatted string, but let's just do ID here, and that's an I32, so it needs to be casted here, unless you can just do this. Okay, and then after the button you do a pop ID. Okay, and here we need to int cast this because we're using a usize type and we want an I32. Okay, let's see what's happening now. Okay, we got some issues here. Unable to. Oh, okay. I still have my thing open here. Okay, now let's see what's happening. Okay, there we go. So. Okay, there we go. Now something happens at least. I mean, it crashes, but at least it clicks the button. So let's see. Well, hopefully it clicks the button. Yeah, index 1, I think that's correct. Click the button. Okay, yeah. So we do get this, but then we get segmentation fault for some reason. In free. So this might be because we are freeing, yeah, we are freeing a constant pointer, or yeah, we are freeing like a read-only memory. So now we get this issue, which I thought we were gonna get before. So we can, let's see, let's remove these debugs. So let's see, what do we want to do with this? Okay, so we might just allocate the default layer name or something. Like this, and we'll just set this to allocator, allocate and this would be like well, I guess, yeah, it would be, so let's do const default layer name is going to be layer, and then we'll do default layer name.length, and then this would be, well, actually no, because once we've freed it we can't use it again, so this is a bad idea. I guess we just need to create it right here. So layer name is, well, yeah, I guess we just have to create it here. So this would be allocator, allocate. I wonder if you can populate it. Like, yeah, I mean, you could probably use something like format and then alloc print, I think, and then use the allocator, and then this one. Yeah, I mean, this is just gonna be this. Yeah, so you can just do that. Touch unreachable. And then we use this instead. So now we have a dynamically allocated thing that we can free. Okay, cool. And yeah, we're gonna have to do the same thing when we add a new layer as well. So let's go to layout, and here when we add an allocator we need to make a name on the stack, and this allocator now also has to be the same. Allocator. Okay, and then this guy is going to be the layer name. Okay, and now we can actually do try, maybe, hopefully. Okay, we don't have any errors that I can see. So let's try and add a couple of layers and remove them. Okay, cool. So now it works. After a whole bunch of allocator shenanigans, and yeah, it works now. Okay, cool. So I would like to have some way of renaming and stuff like that, but yeah, it works. I think also for the first layer, I think we will not have a button, which will just prevent people from deleting the first layer, because that layer is kind of like the special layer. I think what we'll do is we'll call that layer sort of the background, sort of the same. I think, yeah, at least in GIMP, that's how you know. Or yeah, sure, that's fine. That's like a special kind of layer that you cannot actually delete, and it's always at the top. So let's see, and then yeah, so here we are going to do an if the index is 0, which means we are well, if it's more than 0, I guess, then yeah, then we do this. I think in the end we need to have like separate, oops, oh, we also put the same line in there. I think we need to have a separate for the first layer. We do this once for the first layer and then loop through the rest, because we're gonna have them be like draggable, so it's gonna be a little bit different. Okay, yeah, there we go. So now we can add a bunch of layers. Okay, so now when we paint here, it's gonna be the background layer, but I wanna be able to select the other layers now as well. So I think what we'll do first is we'll highlight the one that is active. So I think what we could is there highlights, or text colored. Text. Okay, colored. So is that just for the thing? I think what we could do is we could do a rectangle. Get rect item. Get item rect max. So does that get like the next one? How do I get like the previous? Well, actually, I want to get like the whole width of the window, the container. Get window width. So that gives me the window width. And so that's going to be the W. So I'll do this and then with a little bit of padding, I guess. Maybe. And then let's do draw. I think we need to do draw like this. Draw rectangle. Yeah. So this one is F32, so I think we can use draw rectangle with rec. Yeah. And so this will be a rectangle. X is going to be 2. I think we want to get X here, so this is going to be cursor position X. And we will, yeah, we'll have to cast these things as well. And then Y is going to be cursor Y. And then, yeah, that's the offset here. So X is going to be X plus 2. Y is going to be just Y. The width is going to be width. And the height. So the height is interesting because I think the height is basically like a label. Is there, can you measure text? Yeah, I want to measure this text. Font size. I don't think we have that. I'm just gonna hard code this for now. I think that's the font size. We are loading in a font here. Yeah, we're 20, but we're not saving that value anywhere. So let's just measure that, and we can use that as a an int. What do we get back here? Is that the height or the width? I guess it's the width. Okay, so we already know the height, I guess. It's 20. So the height is gonna be, I guess, 20 plus some padding. Let's actually try that. So now the width has, or this has to be, I guess, -2. Oh, this is the, yeah, this is the cursor. So let's do -2 on X as well. Okay, and then we need a color. So that's just gonna be like, yeah, let's just do white for now. Okay, now hopefully that should be it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna get, wait, oh, it worked. Oh, but it's like behind the window. Oh. Okay, and it sticks out a little bit. Okay, so we can't just use this I guess. So which one? Okay, maybe we should use this one. Like add a rectangle. So you get a draw list and you add a rectangle. So because I don't think that apparently ImGui doesn't draw it while running this code here, so it waits until, I guess, when you do .end, or I'm not sure when it actually does the drawing, but apparently we can't just draw with anything here. So I thought that we could, but apparently not. So let's see here. So we need to add a rectangle, and this whole thing is a struct. So let's just do this. I can't get anything. Okay, let's copy these things. Okay, so we've got p min, so that's the xy position. So let's just do xy. P max is going to be x plus width, y plus height. The color is going to be c dot white. I believe this will end up as an actual color, I think. Well, I mean, I guess it's for U8 as a struct. So yeah. I'm not sure. I wonder if they have some color to int. Yeah. That should do it, I think. And then rounding. No rounding. Draw flags. And thickness. Okay, so draw flags. Let's check that. Oh, we have a whole bunch of stuff closed. Not sure what that means. I'm gonna set this to true and see, because I want this to be solid. Maybe that's how you do that. Okay, and then we'll put add hs4 20 plus 4 width. Wait, height. Yeah, height should be plus because we want it to surround the text a little bit. Width is window width minus 4 because we want to have a little bit of padding there. X and Y, so X is going to be plus 2 and Y is going to be minus 2. There we go. And we don't draw this rectangle like this. And there we go. So we got some thing here. So this, let's do a cast. Okay, it might complain now because we're casting assigned to an unsigned, maybe. No, maybe not. It shouldn't be assigned because it's a color. So okay, what happened? Attempt to cast a negative. Oh, why is it negative? Like, why is this? Why do we get like a C int? Okay, let's just do a bit cast and hope that it works. Okay, there we go. Okay, we get a thing here, but it's not... Yeah. Let's do... oh yeah, the cursor position. Oh yeah, this needs to be -2, okay. There we go. And we also... I want to have it like... okay, so we have too much width here, apparently. Window width, I guess. This would be... Actually, it wouldn't be better to have like window position, window size. So like I want the position, I want the like the right. Yeah, here's the window content max. And I want the Y component of that. Yeah. And then -2. And this is going to be right. And then you can just use that here instead. Wait, here. Because I think this would return like the position is calculated in there, so hopefully. No? Okay. Window content region max. Okay. Okay, let's just try and lower it a bit. Interesting. Let's go back there and let's do get window position 1. Wait, it's not 1, it's 0. Wait, what am I doing here? Okay, let's go back to get window content region max, and I want 0, not 1. Yeah, I want the X component there, the width. There we go. Okay, now we get this rectangle. Let's do -2 just because to get it symmetric. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so we've got this now here, and we only want to draw this if this is the active layer, because now we can see if we run this and we add a bunch of layers, everyone gets this thing. So that's not what we want. So we want to have only this when the current layer is the active one. So we're gonna do if the ID is equal to the tilemap active layer, then we draw this rectangle here. There. Okay. Our active layer highlight. Okay. Move layer button. Active layer highlighting. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, now only the top layer should be drawn with that rectangle. There we go. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to click on these things to select them. So you have this text here, but it doesn't have any way of telling you if it's clicked or not. So I wonder if we can get that somehow. I guess maybe is item, you can use is item clicked. Okay, so let's try that. Well, yeah, so then if the item is clicked, then context, file data, tilemap, active layer. So this one, the UUID is going to be the, well, we can just do this. It's going to be the layer.id, since it's safe to copy this type here, since this is just a U128. So in the event that it's not getting safe to copy, then this line is going to be bad, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. I'm gonna have to keep it that way. I guess I can go make sure this type is safe to copy, I guess. So now we prevent that. Okay, cool. So yeah, now if we run this, we can see that if it works. So let's click on these. Yeah, and it works. And yeah, cool. So you can still click on these to delete the layer. So let's draw some stuff on the background. Okay. I want to draw something like this. So I want to make kind of like a floating thing here. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one here. But then now I want to add like a layer. The first layer I want to add like a ladder up here. And you can see now it actually works. We're drawing the ladder on top of the background. So yeah, it seems to work. I just realized something as well. I think, yeah, one issue here is we don't have a way of telling what should be in the background and what should be in the foreground, like what should be blocking the characters. So we need to add some sort of metadata, I guess, to the layers for that. Maybe we have two different lists, like one is for the background and one is for the foreground. Yeah, maybe that should work. Or maybe we have a special layer that's for the like characters. I'm not sure exactly how I want this to be, but yeah, now we can have several layers. We can paint on top of them. So that works now. Okay, cool. So let's save this, and I'll just save this as test. And let's see if we can reload this without any issues. And there we go. We got our layers here and the test as well. Okay. Now I really want to add the functionality so that we can close this loop here. I really want to add this, the functionality that decides if this is going to be in the background or it's going to be in the foreground. So I have to think about on how I want to have this work here. Alright, so I'm back. I've been thinking a little bit about how to actually implement so that you can have layers that are in the foreground, layers that are in the background, and I think what I want to do is I want to make this to be up to the user of the tilemap. And so my thought is that in the layer, or
in the tilemap itself, you're gonna have these layers, and one of the layers you're simply gonna name a certain thing, like for example character layer, something like that. And then in the game code we are going to look up this layer, and that layer will be where the characters are supposed to be. So in that sense, all layers that come before that layer will be the background layers, and all layers that come after that layer will be the foreground layers. And not only that, but it also leaves it open for you to have other sort of special layers if you want. So you can have several character layers that kind of depends on, like say you want to animate some creatures that's going to be behind some other, like be in a totally different layer, then you can define that layer as well and have some tiles that are drawn between that layer and the character, the real or the playable character layer. So that in that sense you will have, you can still have like characters that are drawn in both of these layers, so you're not limited to have only one character layer. So we're not gonna assume in the tilemap data that there's gonna be some special flag that shows that this is foreground, this is background. It's just going to be the layers are ordered in a certain order, and they will have these names. And it's up to the user to determine, okay, I want this layer to be the character layer, and to make sure that there's no other layer that's going to be named the same and stuff like that. So I think I will go with that, because that kind of leaves it open, yeah, to have the most functionality out of it, which you can decide then in the game code level instead of having it in the data here. And maybe in the future, when you know it might settle into some sort of generic shape that you can have in the data, but for now I'm gonna leave it as open as I can in order to be able to implement it the way I want it, so, and still have it like open. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we don't actually need to do anything in the code for that. We can go into our editor and we can simply, so we cannot actually name these layers now because we don't have the means to do that, but we can delete these levels or layers, and then we can say that, okay, this layer is going to be, well, okay, so we have the background, which is this stuff. We have this, which is the background, and then we have the ladder, which is in this layer, and then we want to add another layer, which will be the character layer, and then another layer, which will be the foreground layer, where I will put stuff that's supposed to be in the foreground. So let's save that, and what I want to do is I want to make it possible to actually edit the name. So let's go to our layout function, and we will go to the layers menu, and now we can actually grab the name here. And I just want to also differentiate, because I think you don't want to rename the background layer, so I'm gonna keep the background layer. So I'm gonna say if the index is 0, then we have a simple text. Otherwise, so this will be the layer name. If the index is 0, then we simply show background. Otherwise, we're gonna have an input, or yeah, I think that's what we want to have. So we have okay, so this is the first time I'm dealing with inputs in ImGui, so bear with me a little bit here. So first we have a label. So I don't think we're gonna have a label, because that's like extra text that's gonna be there. And then we have these args, so I'm just gonna do like this. And does this return anything? This returns a bool, and I'm not sure what that bool actually does, so I'm gonna ignore that for now. But let's go to this type and copy this over so that we can see what this is. So first we have a buffer, which is 0 terminated, okay? Then we have flags. So first of all, let's change this to dot. And the buffer is a 0 terminated thing. So I'll put this in. Wait, you can't have this. Okay, so I'll do this, and I'll just set this to something that is syntactically correct for now. All right. Flags, and then we have callback, and we have user data. Okay, so I'm gonna check the type here. So text flag. So here we have a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So we can okay, so we can enable, I guess, different like what it can be, I guess. There's a lot of different options here. Control enter for new line, false. Escape clears all, false. Enter returns true. Allow tab, always overwrite, auto select all. Okay, there's a lot of different things. Callback completion history, always edit. Okay, I'm not sure what some of these things are. I'll just do I think we want to be able to have blanks, or yeah, space characters. So I guess we just do like the yeah, and we don't actually need to provide it since, and this, yeah, so a callback user data. I don't think we, well, we'll see if we need user data. Probably we do, because we need to refer it back to the layer and set the name of the layer. So I think callback. So let's check the type of this one, because we might be able to. Okay, so here's the callback data. I'm not sure what the context is. Is that the thing that you put in? No, that's the user data. Okay, I'm not sure what the context is, but we can put user data here. So that's where we can say. So we need a callback. Okay, so we need to define a function that takes that callback. So let's do that. Let's do layer name input callback. Okay, now let's go back. Where was it? Here. Let's go back and grab this type. So we're gonna have data and return I32. Okay. And I'm not sure what the I32 is supposed to be doing. And this one, I think we need to do this. Okay, and we get the data. So I think that what we could do is, well, we'll say that this is going to be the layer name input callback, like this, right? And then the user data is going to be the layer. Now this is a pointer, so that's perfect. Then this buffer, I mean, I guess the buffer, is the buffer going to be like a like a view model, so to speak, like a copy of the name that you can edit, and then the actual name is, or can we just say it's gonna be the name. Maybe we can. No, I don't think you can pointer cast that. That's a shame that it's 0 terminated. Do we have to copy it every frame? I guess we. I guess we could just decide to max length and have a buffer. That's always. I mean, it's gonna be copied in a way. Okay, let's just do buffer. Let's just try this. So let's do buffer allocator duplicate with Z and layer name, and I guess we'll try it. So now this is, well, yeah, the LSP doesn't know that it's a 0 sentinel. It just says that it's a slice of U8s. That's actually not true. It's going to be a 0 sentinel slice of U8s. I'm not sure why you can't say that, but oops. Now what we can do is we can provide this buffer here. That should be fine, and then we just defer. So we just allocator, and we do free buffer. Okay, so I'm not sure how we actually. Oh wait, no, that's the label. I'm sorry. Here is the buffer. Oops. Yeah, here's the buffer. So I'm not sure how we actually get this data. I mean, I guess we get it from here. Context maybe. Oh, here's the buffer. Buffer size. Buffer dirty. So I guess we can check if it's dirty. I mean, we should just do so. Here we're gonna get the layer here. So the layer is gonna be the Tilemap layer, and that's going to be the user data, which is null. Yeah, so we can do this, and then we need to import this type. Okay, and then we can say layer. We need the name. So I think what we want to do is we want to have a function that's like set name, something like that, so that we can properly like free the old name stuff. So we'll do set name, and then new name. It's going to be this. And I think what we want to do is either we can copy it over, or we can take ownership. Well, first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna have to free this. So let's grab an allocator. I'll make sure to use the correct allocator this time. Alright, so now allocator free self name, and then self.name is equal to allocator dupe U8 name. Okay, so that should just copy that over to here. So that should be fine. Alright, so now we can say set name, and oh shit, how do we get the allocator? Oh man. Okay, so the user data. Okay, so we actually need a struct for this. So we'll do layer name input. Actually, let's do something like this instead, like a generic. So let's do input callback data, and we will take in a type, and we'll return a type, and this will be a struct. And what we'll do is we will have the context, and we will have the data. Okay. So now, instead of having this, we're gonna have user data, which is going to be, or callback data. So this is input callback data with a tilemap layer pointer. All right. Then we can say okay, this one is going to be, wait, set name, oh yeah, the allocator. So now we can say callback data dot context dot tilemap arena dot allocator. So that's the allocator. And then we can say data dot buffer, I guess. And this is just, this is like a C string. So I think what we'll do is we'll do buff size, text length. Okay. I mean, size may be the capacity and text length may the actual length of the text. So let's try that. Okay. And then this will be callback data dot data, which is the layer. Yes, we can do this a little bit more readable, maybe. Okay. And then I guess we just return 0. I'm not sure what that does. I might have to read up on that. And this one, expected type, this found any opaque. So I think what we can do is we can, oh yeah, and this, I guess this is a pointer to that. So let's do a pointer cast. Wait, can we, do we need to pointer cast now? Yeah. So let's do a pointer cast. No? Increases pointer alignment. Use align cast. Okay, so align cast. Pointer. Okay, what's this now? Expect, okay, this is I32, right. Let's, I guess, which one is that? From an integer type. Yeah, I think, no, not truncate. I think we'll just do int cast. There. Okay. Now here the user data is going to be input callback data with tilemap layer, and context is context, data is layer, and then we provide the address here. Although the, okay, so this might be, I'm not sure about this because the issue is I'm not sure how long-lived this needs to be, if it's like in this call that it's gonna call the callback, or if it's gonna do it later. Although we are, yeah, so I'm not sure. It might store the pointer and use it later, and then it doesn't work. Another thing we could do is just pass the context, and then the layer would have to be inferred by the active layer, I guess. So yeah, we'll do like this, or active. I think we'll need to save this in. We'll do this. Is active layer, and then if it's active layer, and then down here if it's not active layer. If it's not an active layer, then we don't have an input. We should also help with like identifying this one. So okay, now I think, yeah, we just need to pass context here, and let's remove this, and so this is the context. All right, and then the layer is going to be context. This is always going to be like the active layer, so get active layer. Yeah, there we go, and we can do that. Okay. So yeah, now we okay, I'm not sure about this. I'm just gonna read up on what this return does because it might screw up things. Okay, so I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's what's actually happening if you the return here. Maybe that's actually what it returns. I'm not sure, but let's see. So we got an error, and let's see. So this error, expected type found. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. So this needs to be catch unreachable. Yeah, but that should be it for that. Let me just check here. Yeah, we are destroying this buffer. Let's just hope that this works and it's not like gonna mess things up. I get the feeling that this gets called synchronously, but we'll see. So let's try this out now. Okay, we get a crash. Cannot have an empty ID. Okay. So I guess that we want to have some sort of ID on this. So let's say ID, or push ID maybe, string, pointer, pointer ID. Okay, interesting. So let's just put the layer there, and after we're done here, we'll pop the ID. Maybe that will work better. Otherwise, I think what we could do is look at the args and see if we can put some ID there. Okay, that seems to work. So let's check this out. So now you see we get actually, except for the background, which is fine, we get like an input now when we highlight or select one of the layers. So what I want to do is try and modify this now. So this one is going to be the character. Oh, I cannot have more than 5. Okay, and when I click away, it resets it. So do I need to like press enter or something? No. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's go through the arguments here again. Oh, flags it was called. Enter returns true. So let's see if read only is false. Always overwrite. This probably should be true then. Callback completion, callback history, callback always. Okay, let's try callback always. I should probably Google this, but let's, oops, wrong syntax. Let's just try it like this and see. Okay. Let's select this again. Okay, so we get a crash. No. It just takes a long time. Okay, well, it actually stores it. So, well, I didn't save it, so I guess we'll save it and we'll reload it. Okay, so it seems to work. However, I'm not sure why it can't do more than one. Okay, I'll have to take a break here, but I'll be right back.